Welcome back for another episode of Lit Sports Online, and this time we actually have something soccer related. We have a professional soccer player playing in a Middle Eastern league that apparently has been put on notice for his hairstyle.
Yeah.
So, to give you a little backstory on this, Asamoah Gyan, when he was younger, played for Sunderland, a club team in the English Premier League. He also plays internationally for Ghana.
Now at 31 years old, he is under contract to club team Shanghai SIPG, but is currently on loan to Dubai-based Arabian Gulf League side Ahli.
Now, the United Arab Emirates Football Association bans what's called Qaza hairstyles, or also known as hairstyles with only part of the head shaved, because it goes against Islamic teachings. Now, part of the concern for the league is that young viewers, such as children, will try to imitate the players' hairstyles.
As of right now, the UAEFA has 46 players on notice for this policy, Gyan being one of them. If these players don't comply with the rule, they can be subject to fines and suspensions from league matches.
Which begs the question, Gerald, is imposing Sharia law kind of rules appropriate for professional sports leagues, and how do you feel about this?
I think this is a double-edged sword because, again, it's how we expect people to come to our country and assimilate to our cultures. And I think there is two ways. And now in Sharia law, I don't agree with it in any way, shape, or form. But if this is a part of your law, I think in some cases, if the sports league is ran under that country's law, then they should probably follow their rules. It's a stupid thing when you really think about it from a Western mindset point of view, but it's the same as when we expect immigrants to come over here to assimilate to our cultures. And like I said, I think it's a very loaded question, a very double-edged sword. And again, I think something as silly as a haircut is stupid to me. You know, I mean, I don't get how a haircut can play a part in anybody's real life, but it's their law, and their laws are, you know, the sports teams and the sports league are following the laws of the land.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, and you could just as easily criticize a league in America, like the NFL, for, hey, you're wearing the wrong brand shoes because our sponsors are going to, you know, throw a fit. But this is a little different. You know, you're talking about it's religious-based, never mind the fact that you may have players on your club that don't follow that religion, but because they're in that particular country, they have to follow these rules. My biggest issue with it is actually just the fact that professional soccer, it's an international sport.
Yeah.
At the pro level, you have players that are being transferred from England, from the United States to wherever, anywhere across the country. And this is unfortunate for this particular player because he never really signed to play on with his team. He was loaned here. He actually plays for Shanghai in China, and they loaned him here. He didn't really have any say in that. And now they're telling him he has to have a new hairstyle. So that's the issue I have with it, and in this particular situation, I just really don't like the fact. I feel like if you're going to have this kind of rule in your league, just only have players domestically. Don't import players from other countries.
And that's what I agree with that, because it's like if someone from America, by some off-shot chance, someone from America is good enough to play for one of these international leagues, they go to this country, they're forced to change their hairstyle or whatever. I mean, we know the high top fades and, you know, fades in general are big in the States, you know, where part of the hair is gone. And it's unfortunate that they would be subjected to that. You know, I mean, most of these people did not grow up in this faith, you know, or, you know, the people on that list probably weren't raised totally in the faith, and it's unfair to them. I do agree. Again, like I said, it's that tricky level between, you know, that's why I'm grateful we live in the States, because church and state are separate to a degree, where I'm pretty sure, you know, we have football on Sundays, but most Christian religions believe Sunday is the Sabbath. So it's a case of, yes, I'm glad in America we are able to have the freedoms we have, and it makes you really think about sports leagues here, and, you know, just that overreaching. I mean, something as silly as a haircut, I don't agree with that, especially if it's an international player.
At the end of the day, it's like you said, it is a double-edged sword situation. Very easy for us as Americans to criticize the rule and criticize the country, but, you know, from a sociological perspective, cultures are different around the world. They all have their own sets of standards and rules. It's just what makes it so unfortunate is that you're talking about a sport that is global.
Yeah.
And players that get transferred all over the place oftentimes don't even have a say where they're being transferred.
And I think it's unfair because, I mean, you're talking about suspending people for a haircut. You know, I mean, this person didn't have a choice to go here. He's like, hey, I didn't have a choice. I'm just going for the money, you know. And it's very unfortunate that someone who probably won't even be here long term, this isn't his permanent league, he's on loan. He's not a, you know, full-time player here. He's on loan. He's getting subjected to this, and that's unfair to me.
And he's not the only one. Like we said, there's 46 players on the list right now that have been put on notice. And what's also interesting about this rule is that it's kind of up to the referee's discretion of who has a haircut that goes against the rule and who doesn't. There's actually been several instances where two players had a similar haircut, only one of them was penalized. So it's pretty interesting how that shakes out as well. But like we said, 46 players on notice for this rule, and if they don't comply, they will be fined or possibly suspended from the league, and it's a real shame that they're put in that position. Again, I go back to, if they want to have this rule, I would say just only have domestic players on your team. Don't import the international players that don't come from that culture.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it really makes you think about how much we complain here in the States about, like, certain football rules. It's like, oh, if you're not wearing the right size or the right cleats or, you know, this, that, or the other, it's like, wow, like, man, tattoos, I mean, tattoos are probably an issue over there too, but haircuts and stuff like that we take for granted, wow.
And like we said, there's some ridiculous rules here too.
There
but
are.
The difference is, it's not related to religion.
You know, it's not.
Since we have freedom of religion here, like, we wouldn't have rules like that.
Yeah.
So that pretty much sums up this news, and make sure you comment, tell us what you think, subscribe to the channel.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We have a new Twitter down below. You can find out all our information and check back next week for another video. Take care.